Nemesis Game is a 2003 mystery thriller produced by a New Zealand crew, but filmed in Canada, and features riddles as its primary focus. Carly Pope stars as Sarah, an introverted student who spends her evenings solving these mind games with Vern, Adrian Paul, a street-savvy comic store owner. Finding a series of riddles for the two of them to follow, written by an unknown stalker, Sarah and Vern uncover a link between recent murders and the criminal insanity of Emily Gray. Emily, it seems, took part in the very game Sarah and Vern found for themselves, and upon winning saw the design, a revelation that drove her mad. As intriguing as this synopsis may sound, the plot of Nemesis Game is terribly written. The riddles on which this movie is sold are often clever and original, but the film gives us few clues or opportunities to figure them out for ourselves. Moreover, no one is seen actively solving a riddle. The movie simply resorts to the predictable route of handing out a solution at the end of a scene. There is little transition between major scenes, and a fair portion of the narrative is devoted to needless exposition that amounts to nothing. The film never explains who is behind this conspiracy and spreading the riddles. Some mythological backstory is given via textbook exposition, but this information has little context and no relevance to the overall story. As the culprit remains anonymous for the entire movie, it is difficult for us to judge him or her as a threat, and the game's target subculture of riddle enthusiasts is too obscure for us to fully invest ourselves in their situation. This dangerous mind game is tailored so closely to puzzle lovers like Sarah and Vern, and so enclosed in their narrow world, that Nemesis Game becomes self-conscious of itself as a story. The acting in this film is decent, but lacking in the performances of its two main stars. I hate to say this, but actress Carla Pope gives us few reasons to like her character other than her looks, as Sarah is a smart yet hollow figure who shows little of the fear and anxiety you'd expect in a situation like this. Pope's first 30 minutes are her strongest by far, as she carries her character as firm-willed and realistic in college life. Adrian Paul is slightly more consistent as Vern. This comic store owner is thoughtful yet impatient, and has generally more to do in furthering the game than Sarah. Still, our only knowledge of this reclusive man comes from his dingy store and the pointless exposition into the scars on his back. The supporting cast of Nemesis Game eclipses these two main stars at every turn. Rena Owen offers a rarely seen yet chilling performance as a brooding madwoman without any trace of remorse. Emily Gray, during one of the more compelling philosophical moments in the film, believes herself to be no more guilty of murder than an earthquake or a tsunami, and resists her interrogation with a glint of sly wisdom. Ian Mcshane also stands out as Sarah's father, a police investigator committed to his job, but tender and perhaps overprotective toward his daughter. Mcshane has a composed, assertive presence in this film, and is entirely convincing as a man of authority. Even with subpar writing and 2 flimsy lead performances, the cinematography of Nemesis Game is extraordinary. The set pieces are claustrophobic and gloomy, with each scene distinguished by a predominant color that pleases or unnerves the eye. The camera work is steady and clear, but the editing style has a frenetic pace appropriate for the urgency of its game of riddles. Cinema is fundamentally a visual medium, so in that regard, I'll give Nemesis Game a pass. Earning 3¼ stars for its redeeming visuals, Nemesis Game isn't exactly a bad movie, but it was only just worth the $2 I paid for it down at Blackburn.